Biden dropped out of the 2024 presidential race. Instead of holding an election, the Democrats decided that Kamala Harris would be his heir and successor. Speaking of shit shows, the US might have gotten hit with another cyber attack, causing thousands of Windows computers to get the blue screen of death. Oh, I almost forgot. We need to talk about Elon Musk and Tesla losing all of its juice right before our eyes.
He can't say that.
Sir, you can't
Is he
say
allowed
that.
to say
I'll say
that?
it louder.
Kamala Harris just received an endorsement for president from the current president, Sleepy Joe Biden. After a lot of talk of him saying that he wasn't going to drop out of the race and he planned to continue to participate, he's dropped out, as expected. I said in another video, like a lot of other people, that it was probably time for Biden to step back and retire. We've seen him lose track of his thoughts, call Trump his VP pick, but I think the straw that broke the Biden's back was when he almost kissed a woman that wasn't his wife. Now that Biden's dropped out, I've seen people on Twitter saying that Trump is too old and needs to follow suit. I don't know if this is sarcasm or genuine irony, but we do know that the Democratic Party was lying, saying that Biden was mentally and physically healthy, even though we could see that he wasn't with our own two eyes. Now, Trump isn't nearly in the declining state of mind that Biden is, but I agree, he is too old. We need younger candidates to move the needle forward and lead this country. But in Kamala's case, it's a little late in the election cycle, and we don't know anything about her.
Who are you?
She's been VP for 4 years, and the only thing that I can remember are her pandering antics as a spit in the face to black voters. Let's take the BET Awards for example. She wanted to capitalize off the momentum of the Not Like Us record and tried to relate to black Americans.
As they say, they not like us.
But she's not like us either. Now, this is not a hit piece on Kamala. In fact, I don't know enough about her to make a hit piece. I do have a question though. How did Kamala become the Democratic candidate? Who voted to be represented by her in this election? I'm watching House of the Dragon right now. In this fantasy world, you can inherit titles. A lord dies, you become a lord. The king dies, the prince becomes a king. That's a monarchy. But in America, we used to practice democracy. Biden's endorsement essentially just became the law of the land, elevating Kamala to the Democratic candidate. We know the Democratic Party, they're not going to want to split votes among candidates. I don't know that there's a precedent for this, but it doesn't feel right. Regardless of what I think, we've got what we got. Hopefully Kamala Harris has actual policies that people can rally behind. Either way, good luck, America. It seems the US got hit with another cyber attack, even though officially it's being called an update bug from CrowdStrike. And I have a question. If it is a bug, why wasn't it caught in the deployment testing phase before it was pushed to production? No matter what we call it, it shows us just how vulnerable we really are. We know that new wars will undoubtedly be fought with zeros and ones, bits that move faster than any man or missile. Whatever this most recent outage is, it took out a lot of our critical infrastructure. Hospital systems, rail systems, air control systems. The infrastructure that makes our lives move seamlessly. We rely on these systems every day, and we even build redundancy in case there are hiccups. But for all the intelligence that we give computers, our over-reliance on them makes us vulnerable in other ways. In the first half of 2024, there were over 20 cyber attacks on the US. The openness that allows us to have information in an instant is an open door for hackers to wreak havoc. Let me give you an example. I was at the hospital with my wife when the CrowdStrike outage happened. All patient information is stored on computers. That means that nurses and doctors didn't have a way to check in and check out. We talked to multiple doctors and nurses that relayed similar but different information over the next 3 days while the IT team worked on recovery. We've advanced so far as a society that we're slaves to our phones and computers. They hold every facet of communication that we have. I'm a fan of physical books over audiobooks. There's something tactile about flipping the pages. Maybe it's just a me thing. But think about this. When is the last time you cracked open a physical book or submitted a document that was handwritten? The outage we saw was akin to the movie Leave the World Behind. When the technology isn't working, we get to see just how fragile this system really is. Elon has taken up a hobby this year, and that's being deeply entrenched in this election cycle. So much so that he's focused on politics while his electric car company is crashing. I'm a Tesla investor, not an early investor. I didn't invest in 2018 or 2019. I waited until after the stock split, and that's when I picked up some shares. I like Teslas. I like seeing them every day. In fact, my neighbor even has a Model Y, and I think electric cars do have a place in the economy. Despite the fact that the cars are mildly popular, the company is just not performing at the rate that was expected. In fact, the stock dropped $31 last week when it reported earnings. Companies have underperforming quarters. That's part of growing and becoming stable. However, this is Tesla's second underperforming quarter, and Elon is focused on tweeting all day instead of recouping and growing the money that investors have put into his company. But at least I could find some solace in their marketing efforts. They did send me a Fashion Nova type text telling me that there was a summer sale so I could get over to the dealership. This is not a shut up and dribble type of scenario. Elon is entitled to his political opinions. Over the years, I've always heard that Elon is so successful because he's radically focused. And I'm seeing that it's true. I'm just asking that you be radically focused on tweeting after work hours. Thank you.